It's so good. Such a good weekend. All right. Roll the intro. Ha ha.
Every week your team sucks. Every week we let you know we are here to make fun of you. The After Dark Show is upon you. The After Dark Show is upon you. Every week your team sucks. Every week we let you know we are here to make fun of you. Every week your team sucks.
What is going on, everyone? That has got to end less dramatically. I do have to tweak that. That ends a little. Anyways,
When did we get Breaking Benjamin?
Yeah.
To,
I tweaked the audio. I pumped up the bass, okay? And I got bored with AI. So why not? And no, Wendos, we're not doing duck trivia tonight. Stop it. Stop it with the duck trivia. You were killing Spaz last night. What is going on,
James.
everyone?
Yeah.
What
When's
is
the
going
last
on,
time
everyone?
it mattered? Yeah.
There was some interesting stuff last night, and even stuff that was throwing me and Spaz for both for a loop. But what is going on, everyone? Welcome to the After Dark Show, right here on the Quacking Off channel. Please do consider hitting the like and subscribe. It helps us out a lot. This is the show where we talk about college football all from the whole weekend, every team a little bit, at least the hot topics. So let's put it that way. And then Spaz and I, of course, talk Oregon Ducks throughout the week. So, yeah, it's appreciated. Welcome in, everyone, and thank you all for being here, James, Wendell's. I see all of you. Don't worry. Sean, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. A little bit bummed. I'm sure you guys heard what happened in Grand Blanc, Michigan earlier today. A suburb of Flint. There was an attack on a Mormon church there. Very, very unfortunate thing, and that was when I first moved to Michigan when I was 7 years old. That's where my family moved initially. So I was in Grand Blanc for about 3 years as a kid. So seeing something like that happen in a place I was very familiar with was that was a bit heartening. It was very disturbing.
Oh, Mormons.
I saw some of the
Right up.
This is not that show. But I did see some of the details a little bit about that, but I didn't really dive into it yet. I kind of don't like to get into something like immediately when it comes to news. I need more information to come in first before coming to it.
And whenever something big like that happens, especially social media just gets flooded with a bunch of garbage, just completely fact-free, erroneous information, and that was in full force today.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter what you believe or what you don't believe. The point is, it's one side or the other. Yeah, I don't. That's why I'm I take a day away from it usually and go, okay.
There were multiple people misidentified as the shooter, and when I was following it today, as the same thing happened in the Charlie Kirk situation and other,
almost every shooting to a degree, every tragedy or incident. So.
Yeah, so anytime any major event like that happens, just don't really trust anything until you hear from the actual authorities.
Usually, wait a day, because that's called a witness. I believe it was called. It's been a couple of years since I studied. It's basically called witness. Basically the failure for a witness to be able to remember details within the split couple seconds they do. They'll always have different details every time you ask them because they couldn't process what they saw within that couple moments. So everything changes. It's very hard to memorize it that quickly in a split second in that situation. It's So witness testimony always changes because sometimes they just forget.
And it's one of the easiest forms of testimony to kind of manipulate someone into believing. Oh, did you see this? And then, oh yeah. You know,
It's not because people were lying. It's literally because they just don't remember.
Yeah.
Facts can change a little bit, and they just forget. So we'll see. I'll look into it tomorrow, and stuff like that. But
yeah, needless to say, thoughts, prayers, well wishes, whatever you're into, all the positive energy towards the people at that LDS church and the community of Grand Blanc. Whole, so.
Always.
Damn it. I can't do my. Yeah.
Guys, are you being a dick?
No. I was going.
You get that one tonight.
Spaz, how are you doing tonight?
I'm all right. Micah Parsons is crying, holding his back on the sideline. Poor bastard.
That's NFL. That's NFL. That's NFL. Okay, hold on. The whole point of this show is college football. All right.
CFB.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you have it doing the Sunday night football game.
Well, no, because some of us don't give a shit about NFL. That's the difference. So, I think let's do a little news of the week. I guess is the appropriate way to do it. I had to come up with a bunch of them. Let's talk about this really quick first. What did you all think about this? It came out today. It's not a great graphic. I'm sorry, but I don't care. Suck my left nut. The new AP poll came out today. Everything look okay. If anyone didn't see it. Ohio State stayed number one.
Oh yeah. I saw it. I saw the other fucking poll too.
What, the coach? Yeah, the coach's poll.
No, the other, the fake poll.
Well, this is the actual AP top
from
poll.
that other show we used to be part of.
No, I don't watch any of that, so I don't pay attention to any of that. This is the official AP and coaches poll, and the AP and the coaches agree on 1 through 4. They agree. I'm a little confused on why Ole Miss jumped all the way they did, though, because great, you beat LSU at home by like 5 points, and LSU's greatest win was a 1-3 Clemson team.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, I mean, it's just that they were number 4 or whatever they were.
I know, but Clemson, as soon as Clemson lost 2 or 3 games, LSU should have dropped immediately too. In realistic terms here, if we're looking at how things go, that's what sprung them all the way up there. Wasn't it? So I just didn't understand that. I didn't understand that type of jump, like 9 points. That was pretty extreme.
Well, I just don't understand how anyone can put Penn State ahead of Indiana right now. I mean, Penn State. Honestly, taking Oregon to overtime is a quality result. It's not a win.
I see this,
and they have absolutely. They played nobody.
Yeah, they played nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Indiana's beaten now this last week with Iowa. I think there was a hangover a little bit for Indiana going to the bye week before they go to Oregon. But yeah, 20-15 win over Iowa, not super impressive, but at the same time,
I was Kinnick is a monster of a place to play.
No, I'm not denying that. I'm just saying, like, yeah, it wasn't impressive, but I think it was a little hangover game, and they were like looking at the bye week before Oregon. They still came out with a win, whereas Penn State is now 0-1 in the Big Ten. Indiana is are they 2-0 in the Big Ten?
Mhm.
So 2-0 like Oregon in the Big Ten. So I mean that doesn't matter for the AP poll, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah. I kind of see it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just preseason reputation still carrying a lot of weight at this point. So
Well, clearly, but that's part of the problem. That's part of the fucking problem. Is like LSU clung on to a win to a fucking shit ass Clemson team. They won by 7. You know, I mean, that's a shit ass win. Now you look at it, but Ole Miss gets the credit for beating them at home by 5 or 4 or 5 or whatever. It's like, come on, that you can't be hanging on to that type of win. That doesn't mean anything.
You know, the nice thing about this is none of this really matters because the AP poll and the coaches poll are just their entertainment value.
Well, I know, but this does influence the committee too. Don't even fucking be disillusioned by that, because last week we said it too. How the hell at 1-2, or I believe it was 2 weeks ago, 0-2, Notre Dame was still ranked top 25 at 0-2.
But I mean, like, is there any doubt that Notre Dame is one of the top 25 teams in the country? That's what I'm saying.
Well,
I mean,
we haven't found out yet, because great, they played a team and beat the shit out of them. Good job. That's what you're supposed to do. In a team that just fired their coach, which we will get into here in a minute.
oh, really? That happened today? I think I missed
We're
that.
gonna bring that up because it's extremely funny. Extremely funny in a way. Yeah, it's the AP was just interesting this weekend. It was, Spaz and I talked about it. We're like, yeah, Oregon probably will be at least 3, but we could see number 2. We figured we wouldn't be number 1. Obviously, we're not going to jump Ohio State at this point, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you're 1, 2, or 3. Who gives a shit? You're one of the top teams of the country. Who gives a shit, really?
Yeah, if you're anywhere in the top 10, you absolutely control your own destiny. So I guess everyone technically does, because any of these Power 4 teams can just win their league. But
all right, then let's get to it, because
I think this is where at this point this is where I see the season ending right now, is right here.
Ooh, you're giving Miami a lot of credit here.
And everybody below 2 is fighting for whatever.
Oh, everyone below 2 is fighting.
I believe 1 and 2 are probably going to stay right here for the rest of the year. They should.
yeah.
With both of them. I mean, who do you guys have?
We have Penn State. They have to, but that's in Columbus.
It's in the Horseshoe. Yeah.
Yeah.
What road games do you have this year left?
Michigan.
Well, that's a loss.
There's not, yeah. Yep. Michigan will be 6-5 going into that game, and we'll lose.
Yeah.
No, Michigan.
Yeah,
for them to be 6-5, but they'll do.
I don't think that there are. I'm not going to say. Obviously, I think there's going to be movement here still in the polls. Obviously, people are going to flip flop here and there. But the ACC took a huge hit. Obviously, this last weekend on Friday night. Again, Miami's not bulletproof here. It's still Mario Cristobal. We know all about
They
Mario
got
Cristobal.
Florida State on Saturday.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying Miami loses to teams they shouldn't. Stanford,
Florida State.
under Mario Cristobal. Florida State would be a respectable loss compared to Stanford loss. Spaz, are you fucking stupid?
Yeah, it's
At
true.
least that would be respectable. Jesus. but it's Mario Cristobal still. So they're gonna fuck up somewhere. Lane Kiffin, he's gonna fuck up somewhere. I think that's to be. Oklahoma will fuck up somewhere because without Mateer, they're gonna get drugged down somewhere.
Well, I think I'm not sure how good they are without Mateer. But
Exactly. That's what
Yeah.
I mean. It was like without him,
Right?
they're gonna have a loss somewhere along the way.
I think they're. I mean, like the SEC is still fairly deep. I think any of the top like 7 teams. The SEC is kind of in an interesting situation that they haven't been in a while. I don't think there's really a great team in that league at all, but still really deep. Of quality
Yeah,
teams.
there's like I think you'd say like I would agree somewhere like 5 to 7 teams that are kind of like pretty equal, like in the sense like they could. If you gave them like 3 games in a row, one team will come out 2-1, but barely.
Mhm.
Kind of like win-loss type of thing scenario. And Indiana, I mean, again, they got to go to Oregon here coming up a couple weeks. However, that can go. But then what happens the rest of the season? I think they have. I don't have their schedule in front of me right this second, but I believe. Let me pull it. Let me pull it up real quick. Spaz, you gotta learn to mute yourself. Swear to God, you have Oregon, Michigan State, UCLA, Maryland, at Penn State, Wisconsin, Purdue. To be honest, if they get through, if for some reason Indiana even lost, say to Oregon, just lost to Oregon, and they went under, they would be 11-1.
Well, I mean,
At worst 10-2. At worst 10-2. At worst 10-2.
Going to Eugene and Happy Valley is a. I mean, those would be humongous. Either one of those would be a humongous win. I mean, that's
what I said. At worst, though, they'd be 10-2. At worst, I don't see them losing to Wisconsin, Purdue, Maryland, UCLA. Definitely not UCLA or Michigan State. So they would be 10-2.
Michigan State's better than probably like Wisconsin, Maryland, and Purdue.
UCLA.
And Rutgers.
They don't have Rutgers.
Oh.
Spaz, will you pay attention? I tell you, put down the food, turn off the TV, let's go. We're on a fucking live stream here trying to be goddamn efficient and serious about this stuff.
I mean, losing to Michigan, if you lose to Michigan State, I don't care about you. I mean, they're not that tough.
Well, it would be worse if you lost to UCLA.
Oh well, I mean, if you lose to UCLA, like you should just be from the league this year.
Yeah.
How about that?
You should be.
How about the fighting Bronze winning the Big Ten's version of the Toilet Bowl yesterday?
Oh, yeah. That's a good win for them. Just makes the UCLA even that more pathetic.
They're probably going to go 0-12 this year. That was their best chance of a win yesterday.
That was bad. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, UCLA's playing. Let me look at this. Yikes. This will come back up in our tweets of the week, but it won't be surprising. I have to pull it up here.
Did Nico really leave?
Well, that's his name. Maliga.
Did he really leave UCLA or not?
I don't know for sure. He technically can't unless he literally just walks away. There's no, you can't transfer, so he would literally have to just walk away. I don't think he has at this point.
He
To my
can
knowledge, he
transfer. He
I
just
haven't.
would have to sit.
I'm sure I would have heard about that.
Yeah, I don't think he officially had. I thought it came out he did, but then he actually played the next game. So I don't think he has. I think he's still there because he wants the NIL. So if he walked away, he would lose that, which was still a discount rate. So I don't think he can. But who gives a fuck? Nico sucks ass, and so does UCLA. Why are we talking about UCLA? Who gives a shit about worthless teams? Let's talk about another worthless team. And let's go ahead and share this because it's funnier in a way. But that is true. Today, Arkansas finally, and I'm not saying this in a good way. I'm not saying this. Arkansas fires Sam Pittman after 6 seasons. I forgot Sam Pittman was there for that long. I thought he was only there for like 4. I forgot he was there for that long. Really, Spaz?
What?
Where'd your wife just smack you upside the head a couple times?
What? Because I got a hiccup?
Yes. This is a professional goddamn live stream.
What am I doing on it?
Yeah,
Right?
well, I know. What am I doing here? What have I accomplished in all my years of YouTubing? Nothing. But Arkansas fires Sam Pittman after the embarrassing loss, which started out okay at the beginning, but embarrassing loss to Notre Dame. He finishes 6 years at Arkansas at 32 wins, 34 losses. So just under 500. Any takeaways? Because Sam Pittman was one of those guys that everyone liked. Like everyone liked Sam Pittman.
He was an interesting hire when he came on. He was, in his 60s already, I think, when he got hired.
And he was just an O-line. He was an O-line coach, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he had never been a coordinator, never been he had been like an assistant head coach, associate head coach, or whatever BS title they give to some of these people. But, Arkansas was in such a bad place. I think you have to view the tenure of Sam Pittman as at least a mild success, just lifting them from the absolute doldrums they were in. The end of the Bielema era was bad, and the entire Chad Morris era was just like one of the most epic disasters in power conference history.
The only thing I remember from the Chad Morris era was the fake punt North Texas did for a touchdown. That's literally the only thing I remember from the Chad Morris era. It was like highlights everywhere. Spaz, yes, we know you have a stalker and they want to give you a mouthful. Yes, we know. I don't know why or who's desperate enough, but send Adam the link and let him come on and tell you how he really feels.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely. Get Adam on here. No, but I don't know. Like Sam Pittman, everyone likes him. I'm sure this was probably a hard decision for the athletic department, and I don't know. Do they have enough? Enough commitment and resources to compete in the SEC? I think they do. I think Tyson.
Yeah, they still got Jerry Jones money over there.
I would definitely think they do. They just have to have. Oh, okay. You're co-host. You're getting banned, Duck Cheerleader. Co-host. He's co-host. You're getting banned for that misrepresentation. Getting banned. I would think Arkansas has plenty of money. I mean, Sam Pittman, I'm sorry, was not that. I think they did do a contract extension, but he wasn't like the most expensive coach in the world. And they're going on a discount right now because, my God, can it get better? The current interim coach has returned. He has returned. Let's go.
He might still be making more money from Arkansas than Pittman. I don't know.
Damn, that's a long payment plan.
He's their interim head coach right now, too.
Yeah, he got named the interim. He was the OC, so.
Like, how? What's it like to be Bobby Petrino? You go to Louisville, you disgrace them, you burn the bridges at Louisville, and still go back and become their head coach. You burn your bridge at Arkansas, and then you go back and become their head coach. I mean, like, how long is it until he's back with the Falcons? Right now?
It's amazing stuff how you can totally fuck something up and then still end up back in the same place at the same thing. It's amazing. Rhett Lashley or Johnson? I don't know. It's early in the season. The problem is, and with Arkansas, they've seen what other teams have done and fired their coaches to go, we got to get ahead of this.
Yeah.
We got to get ahead of this. So,
Yeah, who can say it's right now? Though I would say we've already had what was it 3? We've had Wisconsin, Virginia Tech, or not Wisconsin, Virginia Tech, Brent Pry, Gundy.
Virginia Tech, Brent Pry, UCLA, Deshaun Foster, Arkansas, Sam Pittman, and
Oklahoma State, Gundy.
Oklahoma State,
Oklahoma
Gundy.
State
Of course.
Gundy, yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome, Oklahoma State. Also, you're welcome.
I jumped the gun there on Luke Fickell, though. I don't see him being the coach in Wisconsin after this year.
We'll see how long that lasts. Yeah, that one's
But the interesting thing is, I don't think we'll see a lot of movement this year among like the power programs. So there will be a lot of these kind of like mid-tier P4 jobs open, and I can't think of a whole lot of like strong candidates off the top of my head to take over these jobs. I mean, you're going to have to be searching. There's not many great mid-major programs running right now.
It depends on how
Nobody cares about that mid-major Alabama down there.
Well, I think Alex Golish at USF, he'll probably get a big job.
He'll get interviewed for sure. He will definitely get some interviews for sure. He's fiery. He's younger. He'll get that.
Yeah.
The big thing is, the big thing is there's not a lot of younger proven coaches, which is what a lot of teams want. Like say Florida, if Napier does end up getting fired for instance, at the end of the year, who are they going to go? They're not going to go for an unproven guy. If they did, the fan base is excited, maybe depending on the name. Like even if they went after, say, like a Will Stein, just for instance, because Will Stein is always all over all the teams that people are going to call him, and his agent or whatever. People would be like, "Yay!" But we don't know, and then the fan base is going to be in an uproar. But we know who Florida's going to go after if they do fire Billy Napier. We know who Florida will go after.
Urban?
Jed Fish.
Yeah. Yep.
I think that's pretty secure. I don't even think you'd want to take that job, to be honest, if you were like a first-time head coach. That seems like a terrible job to jump right into as a first-time head coach.
You know what I've made this point several times, but Florida, outside of the Urban Meyer years and the Steve Spurrier years, and believe it or not, that's not like a huge stretch of time. Neither one of them were at Florida for ages. Both of those jobs, outside of those guys, that Florida has been just a completely mediocre, irrelevant program.
Outside of like a year or two here and there, because even Muschamp had like a couple pretty decent years.
Yeah, but it's not like one of these you think of like a recession-proof program or like a program that should always at least be good. Like they just, I mean, if they don't have a Hall of Fame coach there, they're just not very good as a program. And you think like that seems like that should be like one of the dream jobs in college football. In Florida, you're right in the middle of the maybe the best per capita state in the country for producing talent.
I think.
I
think that's one of the things, the misconceptions that, and this is blindly telling this because this is talking to a college football fan base and trying to explain to them this is irrational and impossible. Guess what? No team stays great forever. Teams have their 10-year spans, and then a lot of them just kind of fade off. Some do rejuvenate and come back a few years later with the right fits. Some don't.
Hey, what are you talking about? 10 wins is a birthright to my team.
Yeah.
I'm saying 10 years of that span, and then some just fall off into obscurity. and we'll never accomplish that again. Look at all the teams in history that have, for instance, disputed or whatever fucking dumb shit voter national titles. You've never seen any of those teams ever come close to even like a New Year's Six bowl ever again. So don't, so for Florida, you can go fuck yourself, Florida. You guys made terrible decisions and have a horrible administration and made every wrong choice you could. And go fuck yourself.
Yeah, but like I'm just saying, you would think that this should just be a turnkey program, and boom, we're gonna win 9-10 games every year. Like that
should be, but it's not. That's the point. These fans don't understand that's not how it works in the real world of the real landscape of college football, especially now. Now, 10 years ago, it should have been. Now it's even worse. It's definitely not turnkey because now you got NIL and all the money share and all that. Now it's even worse. So if you didn't catch up already, you're screwed in a way.
And one thing I've always been surprised with Florida, and this goes back to how mediocre really probably the structure of that program is, that they're never big players in NIL ever, other than when they spend $9 million to get, or they Jaden Rashad. I forget exactly how that whole thing went with them, but needless to say,
it was 7 to 9, somewhere in that range for Rashada originally. Yeah, and Rashada's on what, his fourth school?
Yeah, he's a backup. I think he's a backup at an FCS program now. Whatever. Yeah.
I think so. I heard his name during the offseason come up, and I was like, Jesus, he's still around? God damn.
I would just move to like Cuba or something. I wouldn't even like.
You would fit in right now if everyone would he fit into Cuba right now? I mean, this is like everyone would be like, it's Fidel Castro 2.0.
Yeah.
I mean, uglier, but it's Fidel Castro. Less intimidating, but still close.
You notice he.
Get your dabs in while you can, because I am actually getting.
You notice where he's living, right? Is in that van, with the windows.
Oh shit! Is that what that is? Is that the skylight window? No, that's a lamp.
Yeah.
That's a lamp. It's not a skylight window. I was about to say, like, wait a second.
Definitely a full.
There you go. There's the kitchen view.
There you go.
It's the kitchen he doesn't use because he door dashes every day. But
what are you talking about?
That's like Sam. He'd be like, "Look at my kitchen," and then never touch it. That's why I cook every day.
Does he have a beautiful electric stove like this?
No, unfortunately, we had to go cheaper. We didn't have a flat top. We do have the farmhouse sink though, and that made me happy. I was like, "Oh, good, we have the open."
Is it a little bit like that farmhouse sink?
Yeah. I was like, "Thank God, thank God." After having the farmhouse sink, you can't go back. You really cannot go back.
Those dividers in the middle that you used to have, and like you have to like. Oh, such a pain.
I haven't dealt with that in 2 or 3 years, and I'm like, I could not go back to that. Absolutely not. That's just atrocity. Like, that will strike down any apartment. I don't give a fuck about the price. Nope. All right.
That is one reason I flew first class one time in my life, and I can't do it ever again because I'll never ever.
What?
It's just such an upgrading experience. I'm like, I can't get used to this at all.
Well, it's when domestic or international is totally different experience. I've never flown. I've flown international first class because I do points, but that was to Trinidad, where it's still like an express jet, so it's not like the lay down bed. It's still just like your domestic first class.
Oh, yeah,
it's your free drinks. And I've been upgraded once by points on because there was an open seat once, and then when I was in the military, I come back and I was underage, and they were like, "Do you want wine?" And I looked around, and everyone else was drinking. I'm like, "Fuck it." There we go. Other than that, but I've never had the lay down seats for international. I'm like, I don't ever want to do that because if I do, I would feel spoiled and then I would be uncomfortable for the rest of my life flying economy. So I want the cheap shit. Sorry.
Yeah, you fly in the basic cabin where there's not even enough room for your legs to, for your balls to not feel like that.
God,
Real.
like 10 hours. Yeah, fuck that. The
And then you say,
all right, let's move this along here. This is a little bit off topic, not off topic. I just didn't say anything about this, but I want to get your guys' input, especially Spaz. Focus, Spaz.
All right, I am now. What up?
The most surprising team or teams so far in 2025. This is kind of the mid-season. This is why we're kind of looking at kind of quote-unquote mid-season almost. But who's like kind of your surprising teams where you're like, okay, like didn't see that from them.
see, I feel like I'm cheating a little bit with the two names that come immediately to mind, and that's just because I didn't really expect them to continue what they had been doing, and that's Indy and Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
That is cheating. That's pretty weak shit.
But like, well, who else has really? Has anybody really emerged yet? I mean,
Yes. No, well, no, that's
Georgia
not.
Tech?
I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked by that. See, I will give you one, and you'll be like, okay, that is a surprise team. Mississippi State,
they lost.
but
They
they're
did lose,
4-1. They were 2-10 last year, and they lost by what 6 points to Tennessee.
Oh yeah, that game went right down to the wire.
It was overtime. They lost
Overtime.
to Tennessee. So Mississippi State 4-1. Last year they were 2-10, I believe. That's a surprise team. They beat Arizona State. You know, I mean, like that's a surprise team this year. They're actually like pretty fundamentally solid.
Oh yeah, and I watched a good chunk of that Arizona State game. I mean, this is yeah, they don't look like a doormat. This is the worst team in the SEC. I mean, that was an embarrassing loss for Arizona State when it happened, but yeah, maybe it shouldn't have been. Arizona State's looked pretty good since that game too. So
No, Clint, this is the most surprising team, not the most pitiful team.
Yeah,
We haven't got there yet. We haven't got
we
there
haven't
yet.
got there yet.
Yeah, we haven't got there yet. Relax. I'm gonna be nice. We're gonna recap the week. We're trying to just go through some of this sometime. We got to distract our first class trips and flying and
farmhouse.
we haven't gotten to there yet. We'll talk about Friday
38
night
minutes in, and we haven't discussed one game yet.
We haven't talked about Friday. Yeah, we haven't even started. I'm an hour and a half, and I'm ending this bitch just at random. I swear to God, I'm just gonna cut it off. But we'll get to it. We'll get to
Typical after dark. 3 hours later.
No, good to see you though, Clint. It's always good to see Clinton here. Love to see it. Love to see it.
Well,
Not as
Clint
much as-
opened it. Let's get on to Friday night.
Okay.
I don't think we love to see Clint as much as opposing teams love to see Oregon State on their schedule. But
I just when I look at surprising teams though, yeah, I look at teams like Mississippi State where they're just such drastic improvement. Good Lord, I can't even talk right now.
And that's a team that might end up like 6-6, and the amount that they've improved will probably be overlooked. But they're that is just, I mean, given how pathetic they were so far down in the doldrums in the SEC last year. They were miles behind everyone else in the league.
Yeah,
Florida State was 2-10 last year.
Who?
Florida
State
State
was 2-10 last year. Look at them this year.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you can consider, but I guess you can't be surprised by anything Florida State does, ever. I mean,
No, not with Norvell.
They're all over the place.
Well, and changing the entire staff too. And it'll be interesting to see. Because thinking of that, let's go into Friday night games. And let's start with that one. How about that? Let's start with Florida State. Why not? Why not? We're here. Florida State at UVA. University of Virginia was 3-1. Florida State was 4-0. And Florida State going into that game, I believe, was -7.5.
Yeah, a pretty short line. I
Yeah,
was
it was a pretty close line. I was kind of surprised by that.
Yeah, I was, but I mean, yeah, it is kind of the classic upset spot. Sort of shades of 1995 when UVA handed Florida State its first ever loss in the ACC. I think just in their fourth year in the league. But
And this was UVA's first win against Florida State, I think, in it had been like 10, 15 years. Only like the third or fourth win ever against Florida State, I think, and they're ranked.
I mean, like during the they were in separate divisions during the divisional era. So
That's why there's a gap too.
They didn't play them very often at all. They probably only played them like three times during that period. So,
or at least like once every 4 years or something, some weird shit like that. Yeah, something like that.
I think it would be like once every 6 years. The way
I don't know. Over the history too, the conferences change and the scheduling change, and it's for me. I'm not going to keep track of that. But I saw the stat. It'd been a while, but what a game! What a fucking game that was on Friday to start Friday night off.
Awesome. Yeah, that was a thing of beauty. And then I loved the insta field rush right there. Like as soon as that ball fell incomplete, like within 2 seconds, the entire student body was.
Well, as soon as it was caught, he hit the ground. I think the ref went like this, and the whole student body rushed the field. And I was like, "Oh, those players are dead. They have been trampled to death in the end zone."
Yeah. There was a.
That was brutal.
Like oh my god, are we gonna get a Who concert at in Cincinnati? Story here, but no, that was.
I doubted Tony Elliott the first year, especially that he was at UVA, but he's made some adjustments. And in this game, Chandler Morris threw those back-to-back series of picks that turned into Florida State touchdowns, and they still came back, which shows Florida State still has weaknesses. Some serious defensive weaknesses.
Yeah.
Offensively, they're good. That's not a question. But defensively, they have some problems.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I kind of expected Florida State to do something like this at some point during the year. And then you don't know exactly when, but they're just going to have a dud performance. Lose to a team they're significantly better than, more talented than.
And that's what I said about Miami. It's going to happen.
Oh yeah, I agree. I agree with that as well. And I also wanted to about UVA. They had like this grassy, grassy knoll area of their stadium, and I'm like, that's how you know a university just isn't that invested in football. They don't care because there ain't no way at a big time program they're going to have a big patch of grass right in the middle of their stadium.
Well, that's like their traditional hill around, how their stadium's built and stuff. It's supposed to be like.
I know, but like, if you were at Ohio State or Alabama or Notre Dame, they're finding ways to put bleachers there and like make sure tradition has its price.
It's called the lawn seats for the hippies. All right, that's where you belong, Sean.
Oh, I definitely belong in Virginia. I belong at Virginia, Colorado, Oregon even, in Eugene. I would have fit in very well in Eugene.
You would. I could see you with a cup on the street corner. Change.
Yeah.
Anyone have any change? Spaz drives by you, spits on you or something.
No. I would be out. I would be playing hacky sack with the strangers and be talking to someone about our favorite Grateful Dead tour stop. So
Sounds about right. I don't think there's a whole lot to talk about with TCU Arizona State, other than Arizona State coming down 17-0.
And winning.
Yeah, and to win it at the end there. It was a good game. That was a good game. Arizona State's obviously not the same team. They are realizing how much they miss their man. How much they miss their running back. Ooh.
Who got his first NFL win today?
Notice I haven't said his name because his name just escaped my mind. All of a sudden, just randomly.
Scatterbo.
Thank you, God. It just totally went. I was like, the running back.
you don't remember Scatterboo?
Scatterbo.
I do, but I'm like, his name just totally just blanked on my mind. I was like, I'm tired. All right. This has been a long week of football. The weekend goes by so short when you spend all your Saturday just doing college football. And then Sunday comes, you're like, ain't shit.
Yeah. That's a weekend well spent.
It is, but Friday night and then all Saturday and a late night Saturday post game and the game we dealt with. Fuck, you know.
Okay, so yeah, Friday night we also had Arizona State roaring back against TCU.
Yep, they did. Again, it's down. They were down 17-0. I believe it was, and it was looking bad. I was watching. I was like, whoa, woof.
And then
there came Arizona State. There were a couple. I mean, you could argue, and this happens every game. So I don't want to just say this happened on their game, and it happens every game. There's one or two calls that you could argue when Arizona State's favor. Guess what? That's what happens every game. Whether it's a missed hold or a missed tackle that should have been easily made, or a guy maybe stepped out of bounds, didn't get called, or just little things that can happen. Everything it happens to every team. It happens to every team. So everyone says, well, that was the difference of the game. No. The difference of the game was Arizona State wanted it more. And Arizona State got it.
Yeah,
Where the fuck have you been, Troy? God damn it, Troy. I'm tired of you coming late. No. Hi, Troy.
And then the greatest game of Friday night.
Clint, what happened? Clint, are you still there? What happened? I watched this game. I did watch this entire game. I watched it. I told Spaz the next day because he texted me. It was like 1:30 in the morning my time, and I was like, "Bitch, I'm finishing this game. I'll go to sleep." Basically, I was like, I just ignored the text. I'm like, "Fuck you." It's 1:30 in the morning. I was impressed with the Beavers in the third quarter. They took control of that game. They were running the ball, bleeding clock, full control of the game for basically the whole third quarter and into the fourth, but they only got 10 points off that. And then during the fourth, Houston got a touchdown all of a sudden, and it became 24-17. And I went, uh-oh. Here we go.
Yep.
And even the Beaver fans were like, like even they in the stands knew.
You could
Yeah.
see it written all over their faces.
Don't give Willie Fritz an opportunity to make a comeback. Don't give him an opportunity.
No way.
Special teams.
Oh,
Beavers
yeah.
knew nothing about that.
3 blocked field goals. I think it was 3 blocked field goals.
2
Oh,
blocked field goals and an extra point.
okay. That's what. Okay, that's what it was. I was like, there was 3 blocks. I remember 3 blocks of some side. I was like, oh. That's why I get it in. I get it in overtime. Overtime. The Beavers didn't go for it, kick a field goal on 4th and 1 in overtime, which gave Houston just to kick a field goal for the win, because they were like, why? It's 4th and 1 or 2 or whatever. Let's just run a fucking play and go for it. And they ran the weakest draw, like run play with the quarterback or whatever. Just the weakest crap ever, and got stuffed immediately. I was like,
That's 2025 Beavers football for you. Right there.
apparently. Although
One thing they can hang their hat on, they were the first team in college football this year to 5 losses.
Yeah,
well,
bravo.
I mean, that's an achievement. That is a damn achievement. I will tell you that. It was. The one thing I will say this year I have not missed until that game, and after that game I realized why I didn't miss it, was hearing the 3rd down, the chainsaw on 3rd down. Like, oh my god. Sorry, Clint, that is the most fucking annoying noise that you can blast in the stadium every 3rd down. It's annoying. Stop it. They don't have to play it much because it doesn't happen a whole lot, but you know.
Hey, you know what's weird too? They play at Appalachian State next week. And then they
Stop
have
it. Don't ruin my tweets of the week, because they're not even favored at Appalachian State.
And then they have 4 straight
Appalachian
home
State
games.
Racked by Boise this weekend too, right?
Yeah, and then they have 4 straight home games.
Who are they playing? Portland State,
No.
Willamette Community College,
Washington
No.
State, Baylor, I think.
Hold on, let me pull it up, because Spaz is just pulling shit out of his ass right now.
I
But
know they're playing Washington State.
they play Washington State twice this year. We know that.
Oh, and
So,
Wake Forest.
yeah,
And they have Wake Forest at home.
they're at App State. Then they play home versus Wake Forest, home versus Lafayette, home versus Washington State, home versus Sam Houston, at Tulsa, and then at Washington State.
I'll tell you what, Lafayette might be one of the most pathetic games I've ever heard.
So what Clint, because I haven't kept up with 2. So Washington State, Oregon State play each other twice. What happens if you split it? Are you co-champions of the Pac-12 if you split or do you have to like go to sudden death? And have the coaches like box it out, like, and whoever, you know. I'm just curious. I'm making fun. I was like, if they're playing twice a year right now, if you split them, who knows? Are you co-champs? I mean,
there.
well, someone's drunk tonight.
Well, I think someone would have to care for that to even.
I do care. The Beavers and the Cougars. Well, mostly the Beavers. The Cougars give a shit, but I do care. I really did hope the Big Ten would just swoop in and grab everyone else from the Pac-12, just to be like, take the whole Western board, like especially Samford and Cal.
Yeah,
But I get it. I get the money perspective. But why not just take the whole region and be like owned? Like why not at that point? So I get why they didn't, but at the same time,
Well,
so I do feel bad. I feel bad because Oregon State and Washington State did nothing wrong. It wasn't their fault,
Well, I mean, it might have been a little bit their fault. They might have been a little bit obstinate on some.
You could argue the same thing with like Rutgers and Maryland, and I think any Big Ten team. If you ask all the coaches in the Big Ten or administrators and league officials, they'd be like, they would immediately go, "Who would you kick out of this conference if you could?" And give them 5 names. They'd be like Maryland and Rutgers.
Well, no, I mean, I'm saying there were media and intellectual property rights deals on the table that probably would have benefited Oregon and Washington State, given their current standing right now. And they resisted, they obstructed.
That's true. They do receive. They're receiving settlement stuff. That I don't know if they've gotten them or if they haven't been able to use them or whatever. But I mean, the point is that right now, it's not helping a lot. The product on the field is not good, and Washington State's better than Oregon State. Sorry, Clint.
God damn it.
And Washington State lost their coach also, so don't feel bad. Not like they're,
Washington State, they might have upgraded coaching though. I don't know. Jimmy Rogers.
I don't know. Dicker was pretty good. He was fairly solid in the situation he was put in. He was fairly solid.
Oregon State though, they lose an alum, a legend at the school, to go and coach at another not elite program
across the country.
In a part of the country he had zero experience on. So, although it is interesting, I've heard Jonathan Smith. He's definitely a candidate for the UCLA job.
Spaz, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I don't know.
Stop touching things, Spaz. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop touching things. Somehow he's typing, but the clicking text. Stop touching things. Stop it. All right. Well, let's just jump.
Okay, go ahead.
Was that?
I just say the Jonathan Smith potentially to UCLA. That is an interesting storyline to maybe watch because he's probably one of the leading candidates for that job.
Yeah.
Actually, it was also
West Coast.
It was also
he's from Pasadena. Like he grew up right next to the Rose Bowl. So
it was also D'Anton Smith. Smith. Lynn. Sorry. Yeah, Lynn. Sorry, damn, you said Smith. I was like, that's not right. Yeah, Lynn. He was also, because of course he was already DC there and knows UCLA pretty well and the whole LA area well. But USC's defense has actually regressed this season somehow. To me, it's gotten worse than it was in his first season with USC. It's actually gotten worse. If that's possible, he was supposed to be this great DC hire. It did improve last year. The offense got worse. This year, the defense has gotten worse.
They can never get everything right at the same time, can they?
So this isn't an Alex Grinch thing. This actually comes down to, I believe, it's just a Lincoln Riley thing.
They're not as bad as they were under Alex Grinch.
No, but he's not doing as bad as at UCF. I mean, different competition to a degree, so to say. But I did watch the UCF Kansas State game. Guess what? That defense held them in check. Now Kansas State's not the same product on the field Kansas State's usually been, but they held them in that game as long as that defense could.
UCF still lost.
No, they did, but that defense held them in the game for like the first half as best as they fucking could because their offense was doing nothing. Plus, their starter quarterback went out, UCF, so that really put the UCF defense in a bad way. But D'Anton Lynn, somehow that defense has gotten worse. You just lost on the road, granted, 9 a.m. kickoff Oregon went to Northwestern at 90. What? No excuses. Stop with this time travel thing. USC, stop it. You just lost to a team that gave up like 62 points on defense to Indiana and only scored 10, and you just lost 34-32. Stop it. You're a shit team. You will be a shit team. You will never regain. Guess what? This is one of those teams we just talked about. They're the pinnacles of these teams. Guess what? Eventually, you just suck. That's USC. Stop saying we're the kings, we're the crown champions of the West Coast. You destroyed the Pac-12 to go to a conference to suck. Literally what you did.
Yep. Can't argue too much with that.
Clint, I wanted you guys. I was hoping they would swoop the whole West Coast. God damn it, Clint. I was on your side. But yeah, USC is a disaster.
Yeah. How is a team that's only getting like half revenue right now gonna be able to sway the league to accept?
We're the Big Ten champions and have taken down every power in the Big Ten now, especially twice. In another team.
It doesn't matter. You still had to accept like Northwestern and Purdue and Maryland. They're all getting more revenue share than you are.
That Spaz, didn't I ask you the other day? I said, hey, if Oregon now after the Penn State game, which we didn't know the outcome at this point. This was like Tuesday night when we talked about it. But I said if Oregon won the Big Ten again, so 2 years in a row, for instance, just say Oregon should ask for full shares immediately and be like, suck 100%. my nut. Like at this point, like we're the kings of the conference.
Yeah,
you owe us.
Well, then you've got this huge showdown coming up with Indiana, where you're both undefeated. Oh. You're both going to be like top 5-7 teams in the country.
Well,
like just say,
well, they still have to play Minnesota.
No, Indiana's off, I think. Aren't they?
Yeah, they're both
off this week. I thought it said they play Minnesota this week.
No, I think they're off. Hold on, let me pull it up. Nope, they're off. They're off. They are off. They played Iowa. They won after the hangover game. They had the hangover 2015. Now they're off, and then they go to Oregon.
But it is the thing. Like you can actually just threaten a showdown. Like say, hey, you know what? We just might not host anybody. We might not have a game on the 11th or whatever it is.
The Indiana game's looking much. At first, I didn't think this season. We didn't even think much of the Indiana game. We were like, that could be a challenge. But seeing how they have done now, both of us in a bye week beforehand, it's definitely gonna be an interesting one because Indiana could right now they're number 8. They could definitely be. They could be 5 or 6, depending on what happens with the other teams. I don't know who's playing or who's off exactly, but they could easily be 5 or 6 by the game in a couple weeks.
I mean, you would imagine they would rise 1 or 2 spots. It doesn't really matter, but I mean, like the point is like they could have a lot of leverage right now and just say, you know what? I mean, we've more than pulled our weight here. We just might not host a game. If we don't get it, like you think the Big Ten's going to say, yeah, okay, go ahead, have sit out,
This is a defining game for both of those teams in a couple weeks. It's a defining game to a degree. In the season, now you could argue Oregon already had ours. We haven't even talked about it yet because
we'll talk about the game itself when it comes to it, but I'm just saying Oregon from a leverage perspective in the league, like this is a great time for them to try to execute that. Like, hey, you know what? Screw it. Like we're not going to freaking show up and hold this game if we're still going to get half share.
Well, then let's move our likes here because Spaz and I talked about obviously extent last night and on Tuesday, but Sean, you weren't here. Big game, Franklin fails again.
Yeah.
What this was Oregon's defining game because this one they got past this. They can lose a game and not worry about anything. Like you have a game to spare in a way, especially considering the Big Ten title. Like you have a game to spare, which I know titles don't matter anymore. Ooh, you know. But yeah. Your thoughts as like an outsider not invested in this game in a way.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I wanted to see Penn State pull this out just because I'm kind of getting sick of this narrative. I'm getting sick of talking about Franklin falling short. And this is honestly probably like the right situation, the right team to really do something big. Maybe play in a national title game, win a Big Ten championship. It's right there for the taking for them. And of course, they at home choke it away again. Drew Aller throwing an interception, on the first play of the second overtime.
I've got an amazing tweet where they timed up this pick and the other pick from the Big Ten title game. They timed it up so side by side. I was like, "Oh, that's rough, dude. That's not nice."
Yeah, it's a rough time to be a Penn State fan. I mean, how many times can you have your heart broken?
Yeah, there were a few boos in that stadium last night. There were multiple boos going on during that game.
Yeah, but you know what? Trust me, Penn State has just garbage fans, and I don't really like them as people, so I didn't feel that bad for them. So,
and it's not to say Oregon hasn't had the same thing in years past against a coach here and there. It's not Dan Lanning, but we've had where like
Dan Lanning, Kalen DeBoer against Kalen DeBoer losing 3 times in a row.
No, they didn't. No, he didn't get booed for that. It was actually Mario Cristobal after the Brown winning at Ohio State. Like about 3 games later, they were getting booed at home.
Yeah, because you were beating absolute garbage teams by 3 points.
Yeah. After beating Ohio State, so the expectations were much higher. But it happens all fan bases.
You were 9-0 or something, like number 3 in the country, and absolutely nobody thought you were any good. And they were right because that team wasn't very good.
They were right. I was like, I don't know how we did that.
Yeah.
I mean, they were right. I'm not saying they were wrong. Multiple things went wrong that year, but yeah, James Franklin. Well, yes, of course he has a huge buyout, and yes, hello.
They're definitely not getting rid of him. We didn't even. I don't even think they should. I mean, it's just insane how long this has gone on that they've had this same issue. We've had these problems. And it's got to be just like maddening, frustrating. I mean, like how disenchanted, how jaded do you have to be as a Penn State fan at this moment right now, Art? I mean, I would just be like, I'm never getting up for a big game ever again. I'm just not going to.
Ask Spaz. He's a closet Penn State fan. I mean, he's a Cowboys fan, so I mean, he should know something about it.
I heard they had a Cowboy as a defensive.
He heard Cowboys, and he's like, headphones on. We were talking about how you can be a Penn State fan any longer. I'm like, I don't know. Ask Spaz. He's a Cowboys fan. How do you get up every Sunday and look at yourself in the mirror?
5 Super Bowls.
from 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Good job. Spaz has joined. Spaz has joined. Spaz has joined the Notre Dame club. Damn back in the day.
You gotta love those 60-year-olds that were like front runners a long time ago, and they're still like Notre Dame, Lakers, Yankees, Cowboys fans.
That's why I kind of like about being an Oregon. That's why I kind of like being about Oregon fans is that the fact that people are like 0-90s like this. Yeah, at least we're not sitting here going, well, 40 years ago, or when my grandpa was in World War II, we won a natty. Like, no one gives a shit. No one cares that you won it 40 or 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago. No one cares. You know. Dub Bears. Damn it, Troy. What have I told you? Damn it, Troy. I've told you this so many times. I have so many clips in here. Now it's ruined.
It's kind of nuts for me to think that
I don't date other bears.
There we go. Just for Troy.
That was only 40 years ago. That feels like that must have been like 60 or 70 to me. I mean, I wasn't alive for 40 years ago anyway, so
that's my point. I'm kind of like, there's been that great conversation of like, when do like blue bloods lose the status? Like, how long has it been since they've done anything? Like even one big bowl games or something like that.
Nebraska, you are absolutely not a blue blood anymore.
That was one of the big topics. Was like they keep going. Nebraska's a blue blood. It's like, when have they won anything? Even like even a BCS bowl, for instance.
When was the last time? God, did they ever win a BCS bowl? I don't know if they ever did.
Who?
I really don't.
Nebraska.
No. Nebraska hasn't been relevant since like 1989.
That's why I say, well, no, 1997, right? 97, 98? 97, 98?
Yeah, 97, they split the title with Michigan. They were undefeated that year.
Yeah, 97, 98. Because that was 97, 98 was Scott Frost year.
No. And then they played in the national championship against Miami, got absolutely wrecked.
Yeah, that was when Oregon got screwed in 2001.
And that was like 2001, I think, that season.
Yeah, that's when Oregon got screwed out of that.
That's right. Yeah,
and we blew the shit out of Colorado instead. Even though Colorado blew the shit out of Nebraska, and somehow they were like, Nebraska deserves it more than Oregon does. Thank you, voter polls, you fucking dickheads.
And then, well, to be fair, you didn't blow the shit out of Colorado until the Fiesta Bowl that year.
Well, I know, but that should have been the national title. We should have been playing,
Yeah, you should have gotten blown out by Miami in that game, but but after that game, yeah. It's been nothing pretty for Nebraska. Like literally that game, if you can say like something broke a program, that Miami national championship game might have broken Nebraska.
Oh, Stanford! Oh, come on! Stanford won the other night. Stanford actually won yesterday. They beat. They beat Boston College. No, San Jose State, wasn't it? Hold on, who did Stanford beat?
They beat them by 1 point. They beat San Jose State by 1 point.
Stanford beat a team. Give Stanford little credit. Frank Wright and Andrew Luck, their flowers. Give them something. All right.
They were calling them everyone was writing them off as an 0-12 team a couple weeks ago, and now look at them, 2 in a row.
Guess what? Stanford is 2-3. The Beavers are 0-5. Give Stanford a little credit over here, all right? They're almost at 500. Almost at 500. I damn, give him a little credit over here. All right, let's jump in. Let's jump into some stuff. I know. Let's just touch. We didn't watch any of this. Ohio State, Washington. I actually picked, I took the feisty pick. I picked Washington. I thought, you know what, Washington might shock people. The first half was not bad. I took a nap after that, and I didn't see the rest of the game. I just saw the final score, 24-6, Ohio State. So Washington sucks. Still,
I'll say one thing about that game. Ohio State has probably the best defense in college football right now. Their offense is yet to be desired. Julian Sand has a lot of work to do still. Their offense is not that great, and I think even Sean could admit that the offense has got some work to do. But defensively, they're solid.
Oh, for sure. I think the defense is so good right now. I feel at least it looks so good that I think they can beat anybody, even if the offense doesn't improve a whole lot. But yeah, it hasn't been super smooth all the time. The red zone issues here again. We make a stupid decision on a 4th and 1. Deep in their territory. Not to go for it, but the play call was just fancy and dumb.
I will say too. I posted yesterday. I was like, the first half I was watching. I was like, well, Washington didn't cash in on the potentials. There were several drives I was watching. I was like, Washington's making this defense look silly between the two. Or Washington was making Ohio State's defense look kind of silly. Like they were just like running chunk plays here and there, and I'm like, but when it came time to the red zone or right before that, they were tightening down. So at the end of the day, that's kind of what matters too. Kind of bend don't break, 20-20s.
But at the end of the day, I think Washington still ended up. They had 6 points and I think under 250 yards of total offense in the game. So it was still like really impressive performance by the Ohio State defense. And the Ohio State defensive front, they had a big day. I don't know if that's. I think Washington has some real protection issues. Damon Williams, they had him on the run all the time. The quick game was working really well, which is something that Ohio State's going to have to account for a little bit because, that wasn't good. Every time they were able to functionally run a play, it was pretty successful. But in the end,
the personal foul was pretty weak.
Wait, the personal foul? Which are you talking about? On the one on Washington?
No, the one on Ohio State.
Okay. Well, the roughing the pass call.
Yeah, where Washington.
That was one of the most absurd calls I've seen in a long time. The call against UW. I'm like, wow, this is what it feels like to have just a ridiculous call go for us.
There were multiple calls yesterday from the Big Ten officials in general that I was like, what?
that one was special. That roughing the passer call on Washington, I'm like, what? Wait, what? Huh? What? Are we watching the same game? Like, did he accidentally tune over?
Yeah,
I
agree. I agree with Spaz though. The defense has been good for Ohio State. I don't think there's a doubt in that. You can say there's always tune-ups and things that need to get corrected and fixed or tweaked and worked on. That's fine. I will say the offense, that was what kind of was the thing that held me back about going all in on Ohio State in that game because it was the first road game for Julian Sayin, and Washington can be wild. Now, had it been a night game, especially, and everyone was absolutely fucking drunk, it probably wouldn't like 5 times worse, the crowd atmosphere. But it was a daytime game, but still, you're on the road. And I think you could agree that they tried to alleviate in the first half, especially. He didn't have to do a whole lot or try to do a whole lot. The second half, they kind of opened it up for him a little bit.
They need to do that. The offense is better because I mean, Sayans are. I mean, like he can run a real offense. He's like an 8. He's in the like high 70s right now as far as completion percentage. I mean, you can take the training wheels off a little bit here. It's he's a
redshirt freshman, correct?
And yeah, and so unfortunately, we've got 2. He has 4 starts. And 2 of them were pretty ridiculous situations. You've got this game against Washington, and you've got a 1 versus 2 game at home. And it makes sense to kind of be a little bit more conservative in those situations, especially when you've got a really good defense.
Yeah, which is fine. Like I said, he's a redshirt freshman. So, I mean, there's redshirt freshman is basically almost like a true freshman. All the difference is you sat there and kind of learned. But then you change OCs too. Even though it's still Ryan Day, you change OCs technically with Hartline from Chip Kelly. But
Chip Kelly was a real OC. I mean, he absolutely had control over that offense.
No, I'm saying you did sit behind and you learned from a veteran, just kind of like with Dante Moore. Yes, he started briefly under Chip Kelly, but it was hit and miss. He got pulled a lot. Even when he started, he got pulled during those games. Then he sat behind Dylan Gabriel under Stein and learned. So, but still saying as a redshirt freshman, you're going to have your bumps and bruises, especially your first road games. You're going to have those. So easing someone into the process is not surprising. Let them get used to that type of atmosphere.
So, I want to see more when they get into they play Minnesota this week. I want to see more when they play kind of, middle of the road, Big Ten teams over the next couple weeks. Like, see more of what this is because you've got those 2 sort of ridiculous situations that you're not going to see a whole lot of. And then you've got a game against a good FCS, a good group of 5 team but it's still a group of 5 team. And then, Grambling, who cares? Like, who cares what you do in that game? It's just me.
I think we all said on the other show I did, the Big Ten rivalry, we were all like, 100-0. Like,
it could have been. They could have done that.
like they could literally just run the ball the entire game, and they would beat Grambling. No offense to Grambling, but I don't even know why you would schedule that type of game. To be honest.
Well, okay, so you know why they schedule that type of game? It's kind of interesting, and it ties into the game this week. They were supposed to be playing at Washington that week, but then Washington.
Oh, the change of a schedule because of the reconferencing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that kind of makes sense. So they had to find someone to like. Who's available?
Yeah, there was basically no one available. I think that game got, and I think they scheduled somebody else too in that game. That schedule fell apart.
That kind of makes sense. Like we were supposed to host Texas Tech last year, but we didn't because we got the Beavers. And then I think this year we were supposed to, but they pushed it. And I think they just ended up canceling the return to Eugene.
Didn't you guys play Portland State like 2 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah, but that's normal. That's normal. Portland State to Eugene, 2.5 hour, 3 hour drive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's Portland State's awful. I mean,
they absolutely are. We put up 81 points on them on screen passes. They're awful. I don't want to make this all a Big Ten show, so but none of us watched the Georgia Alabama game, but does Kalen DeBoer have like a random trick up his sleeve against Kirby Smart? Because this is 2 years in a row now. Kalen DeBoer is taking down Kirby Smart. ending Georgia's home winning streak, which was, I believe it was 33. I think it was, 33.
So were those the two Washington and Georgia? Were those the two longest home winning streaks in the country?
They were two of the top 3 or 4. Yeah.
Georgia's was number 1.
Yeah. Washington was like number 3, I think, something like that.
Washington, it was a lot. It was like 20.
I think Penn State had one of the longer home winning streaks.
They lost. No way. They lost. We beat them in November last year.
Oh, you guys beat them up there? Okay.
I'd have to look again, but Washington was 2 or 3. It was Georgia something Washington or Washington someone else. So yeah, both of those teams took a huge hit on their.
Oregon's probably got one of the top.
We were number
winning streaks.
We were number like 5, but now we bumped up obviously quite a bit because of those losses. So we'll see, but yeah, Kalen DeBoer, as bad as things have been sometimes here or there, like now he's beating Kirby Smart 2 years in a row.
Yeah. It's like I just keep saying, like if you're going to hold anybody up to the Saban standard, they're going to fall short. Like it's just going to be what it's going to be. But like he's still a really damn good coach, and they're probably going to still be a really good team for a while. But it won't be what they were because that just doesn't happen very often. The run like Bama had from 2008 to like 2021. Like, that is just never going to happen.
Well, his secret against Georgia seems to be get out in front really quickly, score a lot, and then just hold on.
Well, that was kind of what he did at Washington a lot of the time too. It's just like hit huge plays, get out to against Oregon. That's what they did. You know,
against Oregon, it was actually a lot more. For the most part, it was actually a lot closer. Outside the Pac-12 title game, that one they got out to a 14 or 17-0 lead. But the other 2 games, it was like back and forth. But so far, 2 years in a row against Georgia, they've gotten out to this huge like 20, 21, 24-point lead. And then Georgia's all of a sudden go, oh, hey, we're playing football. That's right. And then Kirby Smart's holding on for dear life to win by like 4 or 7 points, whatever it was.
Yeah. Kalen DeBoer. Yeah, and again, like Georgia's lack of offensive explosiveness or lack of ability to create big plays.
We know, Troy.
Which is funny because, again, Gunnar Stockton looked absolutely fantastic against Tennessee just a couple weeks ago. He had like over 300 passing yards. I was like, oh, he can actually throw the ball. Surprising. So I don't know what happened in this game. Maybe that was a one-off from him. No idea. But yeah, Georgia's taking a tumble again.
Yeah. When people were saying Georgia's the new Bama, I mean, it shows you how difficult it really is to be succeed at that level, because the last couple of years they've been a far cry. They've still been one of the best teams in the country, but they've been a far cry from what they were when they were winning this time.
I believe in the sentiment, and it doesn't matter what you think as a fan. And obviously, we sit here and we talk our team every week, and we think about all year round. It doesn't matter what team you are, what level you're at. To win every game at any level is really hard. The amount of planning, preparation, execution, and focus that it takes for a team to win, that's a lot. It's difficult. It doesn't matter what level of football you're at. When you're NAIA, You're in Division 3, 2, FCS, it doesn't matter. It's hard. So shit. Okay. I did want to end this on one other thing. I was kind of, we're going to be done by now, but can we all take a quick moment? Spaz. Hey, old man. Old man.
What?
Old man.
What?
Let's end on shitting on one other team real quick.
Who we sitting on now?
We are the Trojans. Let's shit on those Trojans. Let's fucking do it. I mean, I think we already kind of did a little bit, but let's shit on Trojans some more. Because, my God, I just want to shit on them again. It's well worth it. I love doing it.
Yeah. They, I don't know, man. Lincoln Riley, man, is just, he's not it.
Everything you saw from USC was exactly the same thing you've seen from them for the last 3 or 4 years, is off-platform scramble throws. Kind of like what you saw from Drew Allen last night. There's no planned throws. There's no actual specific game plan. It's all like, hey, we're going to scramble out of the pocket and hope our receiver does something. Basically, and they're good throws. I'm not saying they're not good throws. But there's no directive in the offense of specific 3-5 step drop timing throws. There's just scramble throw. Oh, yay! My receiver is good. That's kind of what it was. And I mean, Lemon is a good receiver for USC. He's a great receiver. But my God, that defense, terrible. Absolutely terrible. I just want to shit on him one more time. Deontay Lynn, you suck. Go to UCLA. All right.
Yeah, you left UCLA. Might as well go back.
You do wonder if it's a little bit cruel, though, to make these kids play at 9 a.m. body clock times.
We did, and we beat the shit out of Northwestern. It was 31-0 in the fourth quarter. So
I'm pretty sure USC would beat the shit out of Northwestern, too.
You would have thought that about UCLA, too, and they lost. So
I wouldn't know because UCLA sucks.
USC sucks. Too. USC sucks.
Oh, no. Guys, we cannot end this.
No, we're not going to end it. I want to make one more point. Can Lincoln Riley not figure out how to clock manage a game either? Because just like in the Tulane game, remember the Tulane game? What do? They score a touchdown and they leave a minute and a half on the clock. Why would you not drain the clock? Milk that bitch down. There was another game he did that too. It was why would you not milk the clock down and do the touchdown? Why go for one play touchdown and leave all this time on the clock for the other team? Why are you doing this? And he's done that multiple times and it's bitten him in the ass.
Yeah, especially when your defense can't hold the field, stay on the field for more than 30 seconds. They're gonna give it up.
Yeah, it's wild to me. It's just mind numbing. I mean, I give a shit. I love to see the USC sucks, so I love to see it.
Yeah. Well, I love seeing them. I love seeing them lose. So it's going to be even more embarrassing when they beat Michigan in a couple weeks. So.
All right, Spaz. What do you got? What do you guys our finale here? What do you got?
Man, what is going on up in Boulder?
They're still a shit team.
Man, they lost another home game.
Yeah, they're still shit. What are they?
to BYU.
What are they? 1-3?
2-3.
That was 2-3. Oh, I apologize. I apologize for insulting Colorado like that.
No,
Not really. I can give a shit.
it just it hasn't materialized. I mean, like
How
when
about
you-
BYU? They're 4-0 right now. Did anybody have BYU 4-0 on their bingo card?
I don't know. Have they played anybody? That was the first game of BYU's that I've even paid attention
Let
to.
me look. BYU.
Portland State.
Yeah, I think of Portland
Stanford,
State.
East Carolina, and Colorado.
Yeah, wait. So who were the four again? Portland State.
Portland State 69-0. Nice.
Yeah.
Stanford 27-3. At East Carolina 34-13, and at Colorado 24-21.
Yeah. I'm not especially impressed by that resume.
They are still undefeated though, so you gotta give them something. You gotta give them something like that. Colorado's only wins were versus Delaware. Yes, Delaware. And they did beat Wyoming, but I don't know how good. I don't know how good Wyoming's been actually the last couple of years.
Wyoming's been
not.
horrible the past
Yeah,
couple
I was
years.
like they're not the same team they were 3, 4, 5 years ago. So
Yeah, no, not when Craig Ball was still coaching them.
well, even the year or two after that, yeah, Wyoming's not the same team. So that one doesn't surprise me, but yeah, they got embarrassed by Houston. A couple weeks ago.
But no. I mean, Colorado, they haven't built a real program there, which amazes me because they still get like random 5 stars that show like interest in them.
That's 'cause
Like George Seaton, that was a big time Buckeye target a couple years ago, and yeah, you're going to Colorado, huh?
well, it's because it's the bling factor, and then but then he's still bringing 30 transfers every year. It's like something wild, just wild. But their upcoming schedule for Colorado at TCU. I'm probably going to pencil.
tie game.
I'm going
Really.
to pencil that a loss.
Yeah.
Versus
Probably.
Iowa State at home. I'm going to say that's a loss. At Utah, that's going to be probably a loss. Arizona, and then at West Virginia. Or no, I'm sorry. Let me correct that. Iowa State at Utah, loss. Arizona at home, probably a win. Should be a win. They're better than they were last year, but they're not great. But then they have at West Virginia. That still should be a win. Then Arizona State and Kansas State. Lost to Arizona State. 50-50 with Kansas State.
Yep. It's going to be tough for them to
I fucking hate ties, Troy. Dumbest fucking thing in the world. Oh, tie game. Nobody wins. Fuck that.
I was thinking you were actually talking about like the sartorial ties, like the ties that go with the suit.
No.
Like I can't see Spaz wearing one of those ever. Do you have a picture of yourself in a tie?
No.
Spaz? You don't?
See, this is why I hate the
think
NFL.
I've
This is
worn
why I
one
hate the.
maybe
This is why I
twice.
hate the NFL. This is why I hate the NFL. This is why college got rid of ties years ago. They were like, "Fuck that."
But then you decide wins and losses that are basically just coin flips. Like, okay, we're just going to do 2-point conversions until someone has a higher number.
Okay, we can argue about the new system because I don't like it either. I like the old system where it would just be like, let's do 7 overtimes. But I get it. The whole point was to make it quicker. I get the whole point, but
Yeah, we can play a whole college football game, and that can be basically half of what the game ends up being.
Yeah, let's talk about the real travesty. How the hell are you ninth ranked? I don't know that. I think they moved. Actually, I think they moved up to 7. Beating an abysmal Auburn team by 6 points at home.
Well,
How?
it's the same. It's the same
Wait,
thing
wait.
I asked about. It's the same thing I asked about Ole Miss beating LSU, and they moved up 9 or 10 points. But
Are we
LSU was literally clinging to a Clemson win, and Clemson's not ranked anymore. So
Are we talking about Oklahoma or?
A&M.
No, A&M.
But A&M beat Notre Dame. I mean,
That is true. But Notre Dame should have never been ranked after they lost 2 in a row. They were 0-2. They should not. I'm sorry. Don't give a fuck if it was by 5 points total between two. They were 0-2 and ranked above 3-0 teams. They should have been ranked.
So let's say Notre Dame is scheduling Miami and Texas A&M schedules Ball State and Ivy and Tri-State University.
And they won those, they'd be number 3 in the country because that's how the voters look at them for some reason.
Well, but then they would be sitting here ranked like number 4 in the country, and we'd be like, okay,
And because, I just said because that's how the voters look at them for some reason when they don't do anything. They don't do anything.
I have the best game of the year right here.
Oh well, yeah, it was Oregon at Penn State. Yes, that was the game.
No, sir. This game was won on a walk-off field goal from 25 yards. San Diego State 6, Northern Illinois 3.
Yeah, you're right. That was Friday night. Was it Friday or Saturday night?
I don't know what night that was.
I think one of those teams was literally like favored by like 15, and the over under was like 40, and then
1.5.
Oh, 1.5, but I think it was over like 40, and then it ended up 6-3.
40 was the over. 41.5 was the over under on that.
And it was 6-3. I saw that score, and I kind of rubbed my eyes. I thought I was tired. I'm like, am I misreading this? Is this halftime? I was like, fine.
I don't think there were any books where you could get that game at 8.5. So you're probably fine if you bet the under. 6-3, yeah. What is it? I think one of those games. I think Wake Forest one time beat Virginia Tech in a game. It was like
they did. Yes, they did. They did because
it was a zero. It
went to overtime 0-0 because Wake Forest missed the field goal, and Frank Beamer was so excited when they missed that he was like cheering on the sideline because it went to overtime at 0-0. He was so excited, and then it ended 3-0.
Okay, yeah, 3-0.
In overtime. It was so bad. I mean, that was one of I didn't watch the game. I just saw the highlights. I'm like, could you imagine being in the stands?
Well, I mean, you say highlights.
Okay. I watched a recap. Let's put this a recap. That was a long time. That was like 2011, 2012, something like that.
I think it was like 2015, 16, something like that. I think it was a little more recent. It was like at the very end of the Beamer era.
When did Frank Beamer get fired?
It was like
it might have been like 2012, 2013.
Whatever. We could look this up.
Somewhere there. Yeah, it was awful. That was awful.
But yeah, I remember that. Like, I was just like, wait, they're going to overtime 0-0.
0. Yeah.
Like it's one of those things I always wanted to see in my life, and I got to see it. So that was a cool bucket list.
Yeah.
For me. Cool.
Yeah. And that's why I was like, I just remember it because Frank Beamer was so excited. But that was when Wake Forest was absolutely awful too. Wake Forest wasn't even good at that time.
Yeah. Dreaded Wake Forest lost to Georgia Tech on a failed 2-point conversion by Robbie Ashford.
Yeah.
But in all fairness, Ashford in that game got dinged up for like a few series and he was out. But
let's also why doesn't Georgia Tech get punished for a result like that? Like, if they're playing anyone good, they're losing that, and they play like that, they're going to lose.
this is why I hate polls in the same time, because like if you win, a lot of teams get complimented. But if you just barely win, some teams drop. And then if you lose a close one against a really good team, they like, you're out, you're gone. Like it's all perception and bias of who's polling and voting. That's why I don't get LSU hanging on to a Clemson win when Clemson's not ranked anymore. So that win shouldn't fucking matter anymore.
Yeah,
shouldn't matter. This is my biggest gripe with the AP poll. I'm going to get into this really quick in this rant. So at the end of the year, every year, so look at, like, for instance, LSU. If the season ended right now, they would say LSU lost to the number 4 team, Ole Miss, but they beat the number 3 team, Clemson. Whatever Clemson was at the time. They beat the number 3 team, Clemson. Well, no, they didn't. They beat at this point, unranked Clemson. But that's how they'll always narrate it. They beat the number 3 ranked Clemson. It's like, no. Clemson's unranked. So, no, they beat nobody. Don't give me this shit. That's what they always do, especially the SEC. SEC is very popular at doing this, I've noticed over the years. So that's why I say they prop these fucking rankings where they take Ole Miss and go, you're now number 4 for beating the team at 5 at home. Ooh, look at you, Ole Miss. What does it matter? It doesn't. Because LSU didn't beat shit out of anyone.
Hey, Mike Loxley's got them Terps up in Maryland 4-0.
Ooh.
Yep. But they beat 3 high school teams in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like, hold on, and now they're going to lose 8 in a row. So
yeah,
that was kind of a Maryland's. That has been a Loxley special at Maryland. It's like, we're going to schedule Towson and Old Dominion and just beat them by 50 and make everyone think we're good. But
yeah, like what Troy says about hockey ending on penalty shots. If nobody scores in the overtime period, I think what the NFL should do is, once you get to the end of overtime, if it's still tied, it should then go to sudden death. Next score wins.
Well,
okay, so
which is what it was until a couple years ago.
The best criteria. Nobody's going to understand this. If you watch freestyle wrestling, as I spent many hours doing last week because the World Championships were going on, there is no overtime. It's entirely based on criteria, and essentially, to make it as simple as possible, it's basically, if it's tied, the guy that scored last wins. So essentially,
no. I ain't giving Green Bay that win.
So essentially, if you're up by 7 or something, like, there's extra incentive. This is my favorite. I'm in favor of this in all sports now. I think this should be the universal standard. Is that you have criteria that basically says if it's tied, whoever scored the last points wins. Period. Because that's just dynamic. That's such a there's so much more incentive. I keep playing.
I don't know if football that would work in a sense of a fair way, though, to a degree, because it was such a back and forth game. It's not like a team battled back and scored last to tie it up, or you're like, okay, they had the momentum. It's kind of like a back and forth. I kind of like the idea, like, hey, if you don't win in overtime, whatever the rules are these days, because I thought sudden death was still a thing. But if it's not, then it's a challenge of the kickers. Each kicker gets a turn, making it 25, 35, 45, and 55-yard field goal. Whoever doesn't accomplish the task, that team loses, and the kicker gets fired immediately on the spot.
So do you actually have like them run like full field goals out there, like the whole 11 person units on each side?
No, it could literally just be the long snapper and the holder. It literally is just like a free kick, and just see and keep backing up. First one to miss, team loses. If the other one doesn't match, of course.
I don't know. I mean
that's sudden death, kind of like. Hey, kickers are people too. Give them an opportunity to shine or be ashamed. All right? Kickers are people too, all right?
Mhm.
It's my motto in life.
My buddy just
completely on board with criteria is much better than overtime. If you score last in a tie game, you should win. That should be the winner.
My buddy just sent me a series of pictures that he took from the field. He's a photographer for Green Bay. Just some incredible pictures right from the sideline.
Okay, well, at least this from the sideline at a game. I thought you were going to say from a strip club at the Green Bay Club.
Yeah. You definitely. I mean, like, those aren't great pictures if it's a strip club in Green Bay.
No.
I don't think there are any strip clubs in Green Bay, and if they are, I don't want to know about them. So
I don't know.
I have been in Green Bay too many times.
All right, let's end this bitch on this. I gotta get sleep. It's a little longer than I wanted to go, but that's fine. Love it.
Yeah.
Let's can we unanimously? I doubt it, but individually, one by one, can we, in a new segment I like to call, let me do this. Name your saddest team of the week.
Beavers.
No, that's too easy. Are you fucking kidding me? That's what you got out of that? It was the Beavers? Come on. I expect so much better than you. You spaz.
Okay. So I don't even really mean this, but I haven't brought this up all show, and I've been wanting to. How about those damn pissy Kansas Jayhawks?
Ooh.
I finally feel like they are one of the elite they are the class of the Big 12. That's what they were crowing about a couple weeks ago. But you don't just play host to the Cincinnati Bearcat and just plan on waltzing out of there with the coronation victory. I mean that Jayhawks now down to I think they're 3-2 now, and Jalen Daniels in his like 12th year at Kansas. Just
that's what it feels like, isn't it? It feels like it is freaking like 8th year or something like that. There, yeah, feels like
absolutely. And people keep telling me he's just this close to a Heisman player. He's an elite candidate, elite guy, but
yeah,
you just never win anything. You never do anything with him. So yeah,
Jalen Daniels is an amazing talent. I mean, he's got the ability. It's just it's absolutely hit and miss sometimes.
Yes,
it's just there are plays you see him make. You're like, damn. And then there's other ones you're like, what are you doing? Or the offense as a whole, like, what was that? Like,
or the team as a whole last year, you're like, okay, this is a good Kansas team. I think they're going to be good this year. Oh wait, you're like 1-5. Okay, I give up on you. Oh wait, you beat every good team in the Big 12 afterwards.
Yeah, they went on that run at the very end of the year to take out everyone.
Like, Like, okay, just yeah. So yeah, I don't even really mean this because I mean the Kansas football has seen much worse days than they're in right now. But
Oh yeah.
I just wanted to shit on them for losing to my second favorite team. So that's that.
If Kansas goes on average 6 to 8 wins a year, on average, Kansas is the Kansas fans are pretty set. Spaz, do not take off your shirt.
Hey, they're one of those schools. So like this
Can't
Kansas
take that off. God damn it.
does Kansas have football fans? It's like kind of like being an Ohio. Being a Kansas football fan has to be a little bit like being an Ohio State basketball fan. Like, okay,
Well, I'm
if they're
saying-
good, I'm
They
in.
go
Yeah,
six. They go 6 to 8 wins a year on average. 6 to 8. They're like, hell yeah, because they don't want to go back to like being winless. You know, so 6 to 8 wins is like cool. I mean, awesome. And even every few years, maybe competing for the Big 12. Every few years, maybe like being in like the top 3 to 4 spots to be like, all right, if things fall our way, you know, kind of thing. I mean,
so
Well,
yes.
who's your shit? Ben, let's get out of here.
oh, this is tough.
He comes up with a segment. He's not prepared with an answer.
I did. I came up with this. And
I know, right?
I made all. I
This
made
feels
the-
like this feels like a White House press conference right now.
I
Like,
made
you
the banners like 7-8 hours ago, and then I said, "Really, Spaz, don't get O'Duck cheerleader back in here." I made the banners hours ago.
Don't
my
worry,
shit
that has already been clipped. And that is
It's-
already clipped by one of our Chinese viewers, bot viewers.
probably.
Yeah,
It's already for sale. The the Beavers are too easy. I'm gonna be nice on the Beavers, and this team is not done by any means in the season. But hey, Penn State fans, go fuck yourselves. You have been entrusted with James Franklin and the mighty return of Drew Aller to once again just suck. Get
you
over
see that-
yourselves.
Did you see the pictures of James Franklin at the end?
I saw him go up and have to personally pat Drew Aller to be like, it was like another player did, like, it's okay. And he went up, was like,
He's standing there
Yeah,
like
okay.
this. Just like for like a good minute, just like what just happened with
Well,
his arms folded.
you were off headset, I think, earlier. I told you I have a tweet of the week where it's a side-by-side syncage of the Big Ten title game and this game where he threw us the picks. It's side-by-side syncage of both picks. And I'm like, oh, that's dirty. That's mean. But it's funny. Oh, I love the ball boys too. Last night, did you notice when that pick happened? The two ball boys on the sidelines, they were like, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Running
The
out,
team ran up. The team ran up to the Penn State student section and was like,
flipping them off, getting shit thrown at them, and they were like, fuck you, Penn State.
"Yeah,
So I wanted to say, didn't mention this before, but Dante Moore from 2 years ago being a completely dysfunctional quarterback at UCLA to now he's probably the Heisman favorite at the moment. I mean, if there was a betting line.
I haven't seen any new. I have not seen any new updates that I'm aware of. I don't know when did the betting lines come out.
yes, he is the betting favorite." It came
They're-
out this morning.
They're all over the place, but I mean, like this is a guy who's like in play to be
Yeah.
maybe like the number 1 or a top 5 overall pick in next year's draft.
If he does, if he continues what he's doing, because I mean, that's what we said. We said this multiple times. His poise. We saw the consistency and the accuracy. We're like, okay, cool. Now the poise, and in that environment on the road, like everyone said, and we said it too. How will that team handle it? I would say pretty good. I would say pretty good.
Let me tell you something. Dante Moore grew up on the east side of Detroit. He's seen a lot scarier things than the Penn State pass rush.
It's fair enough.
Well, did you hear Dan Lanning in his press conference last night? He was talking about the game and about the crowd. And he's like, yeah, this environment, this crowd should definitely be worth at least 7 points in a game like this. It wasn't worth anything tonight.
Well, come on. All the ones like Dan, all the media posts today going, Dan's a psychopath because he did the whole like cutthroat, like at the 17-point mark, he was like,
Yeah,
like, he's a psychopath. I'm like, yes, he is a psychopath.
Those are cuts. We have a lot of cuts throughout the game.
He is a psychopath. Absolutely, he is. Well, somebody seemed great.
Somebody said he was super coked after the game too.
I know. Well, they said if cocaine was a coach, it would be Dan Lanning. That was the quote I think I saw.
Somebody also on Twitter said that he was coked out after the game. You could see it.
No, I mean he reminds me of like all the people I went late shoveling with in these cold winter nights in Michigan. They would all take all this
100%,
Adderall.
Glenn.
They would take all this Adderall right beforehand, and like they would just show up and be like, yeah. What are we gonna do? We're gonna shovel these. This line. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, these are all the places we're gonna go to. All right. And like, yeah, that's like it is Dan Lanning energy. That's what it reminds me of.
That's it. Well, that's the type of energy none of us will ever experience in the sense because as fans, you're like, oh my God. Most of us, like me and Spaz, were like, thank God it's fucking over. Holy shit, it's done. Oh my God. For him on the sideline, of course, he's like, just I mean, it's a whole different type of energy than as us. We're like, thank God it's done. That was stressful. Just watching, so it's a whole different.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
All right. Well, then let's wrap this motherfucker up because I'm tired and I gotta get up in like 5.5 hours and go to work and I gotta do shit and stuff like that. And I might have to do a Sunday night or a Monday night show. I doubt I have the likes available to do it. I did post a high number on the Exploring with Ben and Sam channel. It took 30 likes to get me to do a Monday Night Live. Not gonna happen. So
no,
you can suck my left nut. Much like this banner.
But your sister will cry if you don't.
Do we still have this banner? There it is. There it is. Got it. Cool. Just to let everyone know. All right. Well, everyone. Sean, where can people stalk you if they want to?
I don't know. You can look up the various.
It's 2301 Pinewood Drive, Duluth, Minnesota.
It's kind of weird that you did just name my middle school that I went to.
Well, that's not creepy or anything.
No, not at all. No, you can just look me up. I'm on Twitter, Blue Sky, the book with the faces, all that stuff. Just it's just my name on all my platforms, Sean Garner. So if you care, give me a follow, give me some likes, and I look forward to interacting with y'all on the webs here.
Or tell him to go fuck himself too. He'll appreciate that too.
Oh no! Like I genuinely enjoy negative feedback more than positive. So if you hate me, I more appreciated if you've stalked me on my socials. So go ahead.
At least you're around. At least you're around so people can find you. That's good. That's good.
Right. And I mean, yet I use my government name here, unlike these two motherfuckers.
I gotta keep some identity secret, you know. Otherwise, I'll have all crazy bitches around me like Spaz does with Oduck Cheerleader.
Yeah.
Spaz.
Imagine if Spaz like used his real identity on here.
I mean, I can give Spaz's real name and number out in the chat, but I think his stalker already has it. They just don't want to reveal themselves. So, Spaz.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, you can also follow me on my alternate account, Oduck Cheerleader.
Well, we would not have expected that. Let's put it that way. If that was true, we'd be like, "Wow, okay, that was weird." Okay. Spaz,
Yeah.
where can people like your stalker continue to find you and stalk you?
Sean_Spazdrag there on Twitter. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't do a lot of other socials.
He doesn't do shit. He doesn't help out with anything on this channel.
Did anybody see the fucking hairdo wig thing that Dante Moore was wearing in the post game last night?
No, I did see the post game. I was like, I mean, he got they after he took a shower, but he was wearing the plain sleeping thing. But his hair was very high and long,
Weird.
but he was wearing the neck thing for like sleeping on the plane. And they were asking, like, "Are you ready to get some rest on the way home?" He's like, "Look at me." You know, like, yeah, I'm ready to fucking get some rest.
Okay.
I think that's what made it look really weird was that he was wearing the pillow on his neck.
Garner, is it really you?
What? No, it's not. It is not.
We're down to one potential person. We were down to two, and we're down to one now. So we not, and that did not include you. So, but
I don't think it's him.
I don't know. I
sent him the link and everything, and never heard nothing back.
Well, shocking. And then they're stalking you in the chat. Not a good sign.
Yeah. Oduck, who the frick are you?
That was like the Pac again.
To give it up.
That was like you brought a Pac person in the other After Dark show. Who they were, who kept coming in. So we don't know. Hopefully we'll figure it out.
Well, hopefully Pac and Neil make their returns.
It could be the same. Maybe Pac is this person.
Maybe it's Jackson.
Is it possible Pac and Oduck are both Neil Campbell? Is that?
No.
No, Jackson wouldn't talk like that. Yeah.
No.
Not a chance ever.
Unless he's in a disguise.
But one of them other guys, those other young kids.
It's Jeffrey. Spaz, you should be
Jeffrey?
ashamed. He's a minor.
That would be funny.
He's a minor. That would be funny. Spaz.
Jeffrey swears he's 21.
I don't believe it. Although the way he talks and his knowledge makes me believe it, but at the same time, like,
yeah, no, but
I need to see an ID. I need to see an ID.
I would never believe that he's older than 15. Just looking at him,
I always thought he was like 16. Yeah, so and he's like, yeah, I get that a lot. And I'm like,
what are you saying there, Troy? Are you saying that it's you?
Oh, we got some gray hair old man love going on. Oh, uh-oh. I don't think Troy can flip back and forth between accounts fast enough to do that. I don't think he can.
He
do
might be.
Now, ooh, hello, Spaz. You and Troy? Oh. Oh. Oh.
Okay.
Oh. Hot geriatric stuff going on.
Anybody that followed this show to the alternate channel is probably a pretty depraved individual to begin with. They're probably fairly tech savvy. And
And Derek says it's not him. Oh, I did get a clue.
What?
I did get a clue earlier up there up top.
What was the clue? Just tell us. I don't. What was the clue? Come on.
guys, Ben needs to go to sleep.
It's-
We've been on for like 15 more minutes after we were going to end this. And I'm
It's-
like, this is what happens. I'm like, come
It's
on. Let's
the
go.
other Sean because he's also a Cowboys fan, and he said earlier, go Cowboys.
The other Sean is dead. And you have a Cowboys hat above you in the corner.
But they also know that I'm a Cowboys fan. The other Sean is a Cowboys fan as
The
well.
other Sean is dead. His wife murdered him and buried him in the backyard.
I don't
Wait,
think so.
what? What the hell? What? Huh?
Yeah,
No.
our other old co-host Sean.
Yeah. That's I know who you're talking about. It's just like
Well, I'm just making sure because we had our other co-host Derek, former co-host Derek, on the other week, and people were like,
no. There's
who?
zero. There's zero chance this is Derek. Derek was a
No,
real
it's
life.
not. We know. But I'm saying
Derek
people
was-
are like, who is Derek? Because they didn't know because he hadn't been on a couple of years. Sean hadn't been on longer than that. I'm like, no, Sean's dead. We haven't heard from him. I haven't heard from Sean in like a year and a half.
Wait, so that was a total fucking mark saying he's dead. Like he's actually.
Yeah, no. It's
I
just
assume
a-
he is.
that's-
I assume he is.
Okay. All right.
He lived in Killeen, Texas. I have been there. Killeen, Texas is a shithole. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, if he was living in Killeen, Texas, probably hope he's dead. It's probably a better life for him.
Wow. Wow.
Fuck.
Wow. This show just got
Cheerleader,
dark.
give me one last clue before we leave. So close, but yet so far.
You're really fucked, Spaz.
All right.
So close, but
can
yet-
we end this? I can't have I can't wish watch Spaz do his Columbo routine over this here.
Who else could it be? Okay.
It's Columbo routine. I like that. That's a good one. That's a good one. Who knew we would have a stalker murder mystery on our hands?
Detroit thinks it's Ike.
I saw that. Ike's not a bad option, but usually isn't Ike busy? But then I guess it's pretty late, so Ike might not be that busy.
But that'd take a lot for Ike to come onto all our different shows. I don't see Ike doing that.
True, because he's always doing the other shows too. He's playing all the other stuff. So, that this is
One
tough.
last clue, Duck.
Are they talking Ike as in Kyle, his brother on South Park, or?
No. Our guy Ike who gets lonely. Yeah, gets lonely in his murder caboose. Yes, yeah, you're right, Troy. That Ike.
All right,
He lives in a caboose.
Who's going to say this? I got to speed this along. Let's go.
I know. The mystery will continue. The mystery will continue.
Tuesday night.
That's right. Tuesday night.
After Murder, She Wrote.
I have no words for this. I have no words for this. No words. That could be taken in so many bad ways. It's a great line, though.
Yeah, those are definitely options on
I
the
got
menu.
nothing. I got nothing. End this bitch. I'm done. Dan Lenning this shit. I'm done.
You're done. All right. Thank you, everyone. Join us next Saturday. We'll be back next Saturday night instead of Sunday. We'll be back next Saturday night.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. We'll see. Spaz might be murdered on a mountaintop or something like that. Who knows what's going on?
Fuck.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. Sean, Spaz, Doug Cheerleader, Troy, all you people.
Oh, it's
Right.
the bitch.
I don't give a shit. We're in this motherfucker. Have a great week, everyone. Fuck
it's
all
that
of you.
bitch.
Go away.